Hello, and thank you for calling Movie Phone. If you know the name of the movie you want to watch, please press 1 now. If you know the name of the movie you want to watch, why not just tell me the name? Wow. I just got off a phone call with a listener who has become my friend. Isn't that something? You know, it's a strange thing. He's been seeing me long enough. He knows about me. He bought one of my shirts. It's this. Oh. We are the Judas resurrection. We are the Judas resurrection. He bought this red wife beater tank top that he saw down there below. And he reached out. And I was like, what the hell? And he gave me his phone number. And he said on there, we are the Jews. He's the reason I named it that. I couldn't come up with a name for the thing. But it's very interesting. Meeting somebody that knows you already enough to believe they don't hate you. And then you meet them and you're like, hi, I don't know, is this going to be one of these maniacs? It's going to be like Selena. I'm your number one fan, and come and kill everybody around you. It's like, this is one of those things you probably shouldn't be reaching out to people. But everything seemed cool. And it's like, wow, what a neat thing. Becoming a friend with somebody that's just out there in the world. And they don't hate you. It's unusual because everybody knows that here at the Judas Resurrection, there's something for everyone to hate. I mean, he's been commenting to me long enough on things that I do and say, and I'm just like, I've been watching him. I recognize his name there. That's Zach. I know his real name now. Now I can't remember the name that would be over there, the thumbnail, but I always recognized it. And he would say something, and it was never anything that was like he was out to get me. A lot of people are out to get me. So I got a hold of him. We had a conversation, and it was fantastic. And like, there's another comment that I got from someone once because I was talking about Monsignor Francis T. Kaminsky. He's got his name on the side of the gym at the high school, St. Mary's High School in Gaylord, and everybody thinks he's a hero, but he's the one that booted me out of the goddamn Catholic Church, told me God wouldn't bless me anymore and all this. And then I was back some years later on leave, and Memorial Day weekend, he was dying, and somebody called, said, get your mom home. And I said, no, she's up at the farm. And she said, oh my God, could you please tell her Monsignor is... Oh, he died. I was there the whole weekend. I knew he was in the hospital. And I purposely chose to not go see him because he was such a prick. Everybody loved him so much, but nobody knew him like I did. And I said, I'm not going to see that fucker. I'm not going to give him the fucking goodbye death breath. Although, if I'd have been there, which, you can't regret too many things, but this is one I look back on. If I'd have been there, his last breath could have been one of mine that I shared with him. He's going, well, I'm going, you know how people go with their last breath. I could have done that, but I didn't. I just said, fuck him. And so Monsignor died. And I said, well, we all got to go sometime. Clack. And I hung up on her. This was a woman that was very reverent, whatever, how these people that fall in love with a priest, what's wrong with them wanting something they can't have? Who knows what a priest wants? But he changed my life, and I don't regret it because he kicked me out of the church. I went out and saw things from a different perspective without them being opaque, seeping through this fog of knowledge that you're trying to hold all the truth out because you know what's true. No, you don't. You know what you believe. And if you believe it, you don't want the truth. You already got enough, right? You don't want to go the next step. Find out, oh, maybe I've been wrong all this time. But so I talked about that on one of these videos. And this other guy, not this guy, Zach, that I just got off the phone with, my new friend, this other guy, I couldn't tell you who, was mad. And in a comment said, hey, you're going to be in trouble for doxing, people, because I said his name and all that. But I'm like, and so I just commented back, he's dead. How can you get in trouble for talking about dead people? I mean, I remember when I went to see my grandpa's grave with my mother and father in about 93, 94, we went out to the cemetery there, and Monsignor's grave was there, and they have a big crucifix above it. Ugh! I guess I could have burned it. But after we left, I went and I looked at it. I looked at his grave, and I just looked at it. I didn't cry. I didn't weep. I just looked at it and said, just wanted to be sure. And we got in the car to leave, and my mom actually said, oh, I was kind of expecting you to pee on it. And she meant it. And it's like, wow. Even my mother doesn't know me. Even bad men love their mama. She did know me. She knew what I was capable of, but I didn't do it. And so you talk about talking about dead people. You can't speak of the dead. My dad with his Aunt Martha, he always talked, Aunt Martha, he'd complain about her all the time. What an old crotchety bitch. Aunt Martha, there was never a nice thing to say about her. And then she died, and I said something bad about her. And my dad, you don't talk about her like that. You don't talk about her like that. That's your aunt, my great aunt. And I'm like, ooh, this just tweaked everything you've been telling me all along. And it makes you realize, why is it people are afraid? That's not the first time. I mean, I talk about dead people all the time. It's like, what is wrong with talking about the dead? It's not like they can hurt you. They're gone now. You don't even have to embarrass them anymore. They don't feel a thing other than the worms. And he was so worried about me talking about my Aunt Martha when she was dead. And I think it's because he was afraid that this is the first time she could actually see him. He was supposed to be a priest too. She was trying to push him into that. We've all escaped the priesthood. All it took was one nice piece of ass for my dad, and he married her and left the church behind. But all I'm saying, you get all these different comments from people, and they get all upset. And the only time I really care about people getting upset in their comments is when they speak in their own words. Most of them just talk about that poor guy 2024 and hey, how are you going to feel when you're in jail after that poor guy gets elected in 24 and shit like this. Stay off the meth. Things like this. Hey, kids, don't do drugs. What do you even have to say to these things? These people are obviously not creating their own thoughts because they mirror everything that everybody around them is saying. So, if it surprises you that I would talk to somebody that already knows me and feels like we could be friends, I think it's just fantastic. See, this is what this thing is about. We are able to reach out into the world, and through the myriad labyrinth of assholes. Every once in a while, you can find a prostate and just poke it, and it makes that person feel good. I'm coming in touch with the world. Hello, Ireland. Hello, Norway. Hello, New Mexico. Fuck Albuquerque. Worst drinking experience.